No, I don't use this for my face. I don't really use anything for my face. I have a body wash that I use, and that's about it. I mean, I just buy Dove body wash. That's it. Nothing fancy. I started using Witch Hazel spray a few months ago. Badass Azula. Did I see what, Paula? I did not see your comment. Let me scroll back. Regret doesn't happen to every trans person. Several have surgery and live happier lives. Exactly. I did not see your question, Paula. You may have to come up. I don't know if you have enough followers to come up. Yeah, you do. You may have to come up, Paula. You want to see me with a side pony in 90s style? What is that? Is that more 80s style? Yes, I had my hair redone. What is bottom surgery? That's a fantastic question. There are several different types of bottom surgery. Bottom surgery refers to any kind of surgery that's done on your genitalia. That can mean an orchiectomy, which is when you remove your testicles. It can mean a vulvoplasty, which is when they give you a vagina. When they give you a vulva, but they don't give you a vagina. It could be phalloplasty, which is when they take a vagina and make it into a penis, or it can be vaginoplasty, which is when they take a penis and make it into a vagina. That's what I got. I had a vaginoplasty. What about cute messy bun? I have to learn how to do buns. I don't know how to do buns. Hello, Zimena? Zimena? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Do I do my hair myself? Not the color. And I don't cut it either, so not really? No? What's my favorite show? My favorite show? Star Trek? What inspired my haircut? Video games. Video games. I always choose the side cut in video games. Am I going to do a debate live later? Probably. There's a good chance. My Q&As just, they don't hit like they used to. I used to get so many curious people that wanted to know answers to these questions, and I kind of don't anymore. I don't really know why, but it is what it is, right? I mean, the Q&As aren't getting views, the debates are. Live long and prosper, fucking right. Do I have a favorite anime character? Ooh, favorite anime. Ooh. It's the older sister in Totoro. I've forgotten her name, but it's the older sister in Totoro. I relate to her so much. She shaped a key part of my childhood. Could be because you're teaching so much that nobody has any more questions. Yes. Still playing Avatar? Yes, I am. I'm just not streaming it anymore. I'm really not streaming video games anymore. It turned my hobby into work, and I didn't want to do that. Are your questions not coming through? I just can't get to all the questions, Scuba Steve. I'm trying to. If y'all can keep tapping that screen, let's see if we can hit 20,000 likes, guys. 20,000 likes is the goal. We have one single share. Let's see if we can get the shares up to 50. That's real shares, not copy link shares. The copy link shares drown out the questions. Hey there, Jess. What will I do for work in a few years? Who knows? I am looking to get into volunteer work. I'm probably going to go to my local Pride just to get in touch with the local organizations and see what I can do to get my foot into the door for volunteering. And who knows what will come out of that. Thank you for the shares, Jess. You look extra beautiful today. Thank you, Kara. We're up to 65 shares. Thank you so much. Would you say bottom surgery is worse than top surgery in terms of recovery? Overall, yeah. I mean, overall, the bottom surgery recovery is significantly more difficult than top surgery recovery. That said, the pain is actually worse for top surgery. My pain, in my personal experience, I should say, in my personal experience, my top surgery pain averaged between a 7, 8, or a 9 out of 10 for about 3 days, and then that pain basically disappeared. Bottom surgery, my pain averaged between a 4 and a 6 out of 10, but that was a persistent pain. That pain stuck around for 6 weeks before dropping down to like the 1 or a 3 range. When I went back to work, it shot back up to the 4 to 6 range before dropping down a little bit. When I went for my 6-month checkup, I had to get a revision surgery done. That shot the pain back up to a 4 or a 6 out of 10, and then it dropped back down again. It all said and done, it took about 8, 9, 10 months or so for the pain to disappear. What did Tattoo Spirit ask? What's it look like? Looks like a vagina. Yeah, I got to agree. That's not an appropriate question. What's my natural hair color? A very, very dark brown. How do you feel nowadays? So you feel more comfortable in this? Yeah, I have extreme body confidence. And it's no secret that the last 4 months have been incredibly challenging for me emotionally. I've been pretty depressed, but that has not affected my body image. And my body image is still absolutely tip-top. Like, I never, ever dreamed that it would be possible, but I love my body. I think I'm fucking hot as hell. How's post-op going? It's going very smoothly, Meg. Someone says that I keep ignoring the questions. I'm just not seeing your questions, Scuba Steve. Ask it in a different way, because it's being filtered. Yeah, Scuba Steve, your question is being filtered, so ask it in a different way, or request to come up. Do most people have to get revision surgeries for bottom surgery? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what the stat is on that. I needed 2 myself. I had 2 revisions. What kind of bed rest? I did buy a donut, but just like days before. I'll answer the Odor question after this. But just days before, I was advised by a nurse to not use a donut because donuts can cause blood flow issues, just something along those lines. So I ended up at the last second switching to a wedge, and the wedge was fantastic. Okay, someone asked about odor. There's not really any negative scent. There was a brief period of time, a few weeks, where I had a bad scent, and that's it. It really has not come back. It wasn't a bad scent in the early days. In the very early days, I would say it had a very sweet scent to it. Now it's just kind of very, very little scent. Will I ever get a period? I get period-like symptoms. I've been on estrogen for 3 years. And for about a year and a half or so, I got period-like symptoms, meaning every month I experienced headaches, nausea, mood swings, chest tenderness, bloating, abdominal cramps, etc. Obviously, I don't have a uterus, so I don't shed uterine lining. But otherwise, yeah, period-like symptoms. Why is a revision necessary? Like, did something go wrong? So I did have something go wrong, and also I wanted the revision surgery because my clitoral hood was kind of smothering my clitoris. And there was zero access to it, so it had to be pulled back a little bit. And then we just did that same thing a second time. Does it auto-lubricate, or do you have to insert something? The surgery that I got does self-lubricate. The results will vary person to person. Some transgender people will have very, very little or no self-lubrication, and some will have a lot. I personally am not having lubrication issues. Your first set of stones are tumbled. Congratulations, Aunt Becky. Thank you for answering the question. No problem. Do you pick what it looks like? Sorry if that's too much. No, that's a totally valid question, Aaron. One that a lot of people are going to want to know, and the answer is no. You don't really get a significant say. The revision surgeries can add a little bit of aesthetic to it, but as far as the initial surgery, no, you don't pick. There's too much variation in genitalia, and there's too much variation in the recovery process for any kind of result to be guaranteed. Keep tapping away, guys. 20,000 likes is our goal. We need to get to 20,000 likes. I want to see a stream of hearts right over here. Am I currently dating? I am single and not looking. Scuba Steve, I finally saw your question. That must make it kind of scary to not know for sure. Sure, yeah, there's fear there. Fortunately for me, aesthetics did not matter at all. So I really wasn't worried about what it was going to look like. Did I want it to look nice? Sure, and I'm very, very happy that it does. Is it fully functioning? The only thing that it doesn't do that a typical vagina does is self-clean. It does everything else. I have to clean it myself. I have to maintain certain pH levels, and I have to do that with special products. Are we doing debates today? Probably. I would like to have a long Q&A. So it definitely stinks. Gris, first of all, why would you wish that? And second of all, no, it doesn't. Yes, I did get my hair done. Yes, thank you. How do you clean it? Gonna get a little detailed here, guys. Just a little. There's a special product. You have to maintain a certain pH level. Naturally, it'll have a pH level of 7. You want a pH level of 4. So 4.5. So there's a special product which will introduce various types of bacteria that are typically found in a vagina, and you just take that and insert. Did I color my hair today? Yes, I had it done professionally. Does buying those products every month cost a lot of money, like more than typical tampons would cost? No. So I also have to use a special lubricant for dilation, because the lubricant and the wash kind of work together to maintain certain pH levels. So I have to buy a special lubricant and I have to buy a special wash, and those are $10 a piece. Is what a supplement that I take. Scuba Steve. Do I have discharge? Yes, like nothing intense like you might find on certain websites, but yes. Your hair looks so good. Thank you, Katie. And hello to my one Twitch viewer. Are feminine products like those taxed? I mean, I live in a state where everything is taxed, so yes. Am I more prone to infections? I have the same likeliness of infections as any typical vagina haver. So yeah, UTIs are a possibility. Yeast infections are a possibility. All things I got to be on the lookout for. Did I miss a question? Yeah, Trash Can, your questions are completely valid, 100%. Tattoo Spirit, I missed your question. Are you prescribed anything to take after surgery, or do you buy it yourself? The only thing that I'm prescribed is estrogen. I will need to be on estrogen for the remainder of my life. As I've had my testicles removed, my body doesn't produce high amounts of testosterone anymore, and you need to have certain levels of hormones. Thank you for the ice cream, Nick. Thank you so much. Yeah, you need to have hormone levels at certain levels, otherwise you run the risk of becoming chronically ill. We have a guest request.
Hi.
Hey there, Radiant. Welcome back.
Thank you. Your makeup is flawless. My husband had a question,
Okay,
and he's not here, but can I ask the question for him?
absolutely.
So we were watching a live the other day, and somebody asked you, like, if being transgender has nothing to do with, like, surgery or, like, yeah, surgery, then, oh my God, my brain just died.
Why get the surgery if you don't need it to be a woman? Is that the
Yes,
question? Sure.
yes.
I think that's a totally fair question. I didn't get these surgeries to be a woman. I already was one. I got these surgeries because I have gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a severe distress-based disorder that has a significant negative impact on your day-to-day life. For me, it caused significant body image issues. It caused high anxiety. It caused depression. And I had to do something about that. And for me, the thing to do was to get these surgeries.
Okay. Is gender dysphoria kind of similar to body dysmorphia?
I would say no, because body dysmorphia is seeing your body
Okay.
in a way that it's not. Um, for an instance, thinking that you are overweight when you're not. That could be body dysmorphia, I believe. Um,
Yeah, no, I have body dysmorphia, and I struggled with, like, an eating disorder for years. I just didn't know if there was any, like, correlation or any similarity.
there might be some
There.
similarities, but they are definitely different things.
Okay, that's all. Okay, thank you for answering. I didn't know how to
No problem. You have a good day.
say. Thanks, you too.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So I know when I drop all my guests, I sometimes have audio issues. Can you guys hear me? Let me know in chat if you guys can hear me or if I gotta fix the audio. You can? Okay, cool. Clear? Awesome. All right, good. All right, guys, we made it to 20,000 likes. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can hit 30,000. 30,000 is the goal. Will I need to dilate for the rest of my life? Yes. So long as I want a vaginal canal, yes, I will have to dilate. The moment that I don't want a vaginal canal anymore, I can stop dilating. And that's really all there is to it. Like, there's no... it's not dangerous to stop dilating. It just means that you're going to lose width and depth in your canal. I did get my hair done. Thank you. What happens if it closes? Okay, so let's say I went through a depressive state, and during this depressive state, I stopped taking care of my vagina, meaning I stopped dilating. I would first start to lose a bit of width, and then I would start to lose a bit of depth. Lost width can be regained through dilation. Lost depth cannot. You can regain very, very small amounts, like a centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters. But once you're starting to lose inches, that's permanent loss. And if you want to get that depth back, you're going to need a new surgery, and they're going to have to take out part of your abdomen to do it, which is just not something that we want to do. Hydration alert, thank you. So yeah, if you stop dilating, you run the risk of losing depth and all that. Does it grow hair? Not mine, because I had laser hair removal. My surgeon personally strongly recommends laser hair removal, but does not require it. If you do have hair in your canal, that increases the odds of infection. My hands are shaking. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's a hereditary thing, guys. I appreciate the concern, but it's just hereditary. It runs on my mom's side. The women on my mom's side, guys. The women on my mom's side. None of the men. I actually have no idea if it's just the men or the women. I have no idea at all. Never even thought about having hair inside. Yeah, that's a possibility. What form of estrogen do I use? I take it in pill form. Sublingually. Lets it dissolve under my tongue. We're getting up there, guys. We're starting to climb. That's awesome. I love to see it. We're coming close to our goal of 30,000, and we're climbing in views. More views mean more questions. More questions means more learning. Have I thought of changing my voice? Yes. My voice is my last great source of dysphoria, and I would like to do something about it. I don't know if surgery is the right thing for me. We'll find out. I may just train my voice, or I may do nothing with my voice. Hey there, Haley, how you doing? What has estrogen done for me personally? So much. The first thing I noticed when I started taking estrogen, almost off the bat, was softer skin. And my face cleared up. I used to have a decent amount of pimples around here. Taking estrogen caused my face to clear right up. I noticed breast development relatively soon, chest tenderness. I started to have period-like symptoms on a regular basis. My emotional range dramatically increased. The highs are higher, the lows are lower. So yeah, much greater emotional range. I have lost an inch. I can't necessarily say that is because of the estrogen or not, but from the time that I started estrogen at 6 feet, and a year later I was at 5'11". I cannot say for sure that is a direct result of estrogen. I also experienced shrinkage downstairs, and that was very painful. Very painful. Do I like OJ with pulp or without pulp? I'll have it either way, and I'll enjoy it just as much. All right, we have a guest request. Keep tapping away, guys. We're so close to our goal of 30,000. Lacobe Curry. Remember dropping this guy.
No, we agreed on mutual terms to leave. It wasn't no.
Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Anything malice or anything like that.
Okay.
We just drop down. So I got a few questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so like when you obviously transitioned, everything in your brain, was like, I don't know. Did you was this anything like happened to with like sexuality too? Or was it just like strictly gender?
So starting HRT can affect your sexuality. It didn't for me.
Okay, so like you were still like when you weren't transitioning, or were you like still like I don't know how to say it, like when you were like presenting as a man. Can I say that?
Sure. Yep.
Okay, so when you like presented as a man, like what did you always like cis woman? Like would you say when you were straight, like when you were?
But before I recognized myself as a trans woman, I did consider myself to be straight. Yes.
So you consider yourself to be straight. So was there any point where you were like pre-transition, like you would like consider yourself as a lesbian?
Yeah, the moment that I recognized myself as transgender, I understood that I was a lesbian.
You understood that you were a lesbian, okay? And like, did you feel like the same way? Like, I don't know, like how you are right now, but like before you like transitioned, like did you find? I mean, like after you transitioned, did you find yourself talking to women the same you talked before you were pre-op or pre-transition?
I'm sorry. Would you mind repeating the question?
Like, was your approach on women like? How did like you're like? When you were like talking to women, like you were like interested in, like, were you like, was it different from when you pre-op than post-op? Like,
I'm missing part of this question. I don't know if I'm just losing.
I can try to simple it down. I'm saying like, so before you transitioned, like when you was still presenting as a man, right? Did you? Then after you came out and like the person you are now, did you approach women differently, or did you like?
Oh, okay, I get it. I got it now. So I'm also asexual, meaning that I don't experience sexual attraction in any significant way. I am not looking to be with anyone romantically or intimately. So I didn't have any game before, and I got no game now.
Okay, so like, okay, you say you Okay, you say you are a lesbian, like you are asexual, but you're a lesbian.
Yes, I do still have romantic attraction, and under certain circumstances, sexual attraction.
There's like okay, so like okay, you are a lesbian, like and like, but you don't want to be like in a romantic relationship, or like you like
Yeah, I have no significant interest in romance.
okay, no significant. And then I'm saying if you did like would this like consider like all lesbian types
Hmm?
like like different types of lesbians basically like since you
What
are
about me?
I'm saying like are you like attracted to like all like sorts of lesbians or like is
Not
it
all
just like
sorts. I mean, I definitely have a preference for masculine women, especially athletic masculine women. But yeah, all types of women I'm attracted to.
and does genitalia matter at all like is this just like
Not, I don't think I have a general preference, but again, I've never been with anyone. I don't really think of intimacy in that kind of way, so it's not something that I put serious thought into.
okay yeah yeah that makes sense I feel like I don't know I don't know I feel like I wouldn't like say this is a generalization but like I feel like are like all like trans people like sexuality the same like as they were like pre-op position I mean instead of post like do they ever like interchange
Was the question? Does our sexuality change?
yeah do you guys like do mostly all sexuality changes or do y'all all like stay like the same if y'all didn't like transition
Yeah, typically, if you like women before, you like women after. If you like men before, you like men after, etc. Typically, it is possible for HRT to cause a change in your sexuality, but yeah,
nice I'm just asking like some questions because I just want to
fine.
like have you uh, like have you like ever like had any like did you have any like attractions before you were trans or like
Sure. I mean, I'm not purely asexual. Pure being, I don't want to say pure. Asexual is an umbrella term. At its core, asexual means that you don't experience sexual attraction, but there are identities that fall underneath it. For instance, there's demisexual, which means that you can only experience sexual attraction when you're first deeply romantically attracted to someone. And I've absolutely romantically fallen for women, and I've absolutely been attracted to them physically.
before or like after transition?
Oh,
Okay, so like how does that make you like asexual though? Like if you
right, it's something that falls under the category because under the category of asexual. Because asexual is an entire umbrella of terms. There are multiple identities that fall underneath it. Demisexual being one, meaning that I don't experience sexual attraction to just any random person or friends or anything like that. Like I I have to be romantically interested in them first before I can be sexually attracted.
yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I had another question. I just forgot. I got ADHD really bad. Um, I was about to say. Okay, so like, do you think that people should like like find this confusing like the way at least like the way you stated it, but like why do people like always have like the feeling like they have to like label something?
So I would say in our typical everyday life, we don't really need these labels. Like we could just go about our business and not care about these labels. But sometimes when we're trying to convey a certain message, we're trying to ask certain questions or understand certain things about ourselves, these labels are helpful to understand things.
Yeah, and, yeah, I can feel like that could be true too. But I also feel like it just confuses everything, and it like puts like unnecessary like labels, put people in like in an unnecessary box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I don't love when labels are overly restrictive. I think that we do need to allow a certain amount within reason of flexibility within reason. Like I don't want to say that everybody falls under the LGBTQ, for instance. Cis hetero people are not LGBT and never will be, but there are straight people that are in the LGBT.
yeah, and like how, like, and the reason why I'm confused like by like some of it because like like non-binary people, like people that don't conflict with gender or anything like that. Like, how can you say that person is like could be like could be in like like could be like I don't know, like straight. Like, how can he be straight? How can he be gay? How can it be like trans and these things if they are not conflicting to gender at all?
How can you be straight or trans? I did not understand the question.
How
Sorry.
can you be like straight? I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. How can you be straight, gay, and trans if you're like non-binary and you don't conflict to any gender? Like I'm saying, like I mean,
Non-binary
40
people
to
do
be.
typically have gender.
You said what?
Non-binary people do typically have gender.
So what is the definition of non-binary?
Non-binary. So we have this idea that, at least in Western culture, that there are men and that there are women and that's it. But that's not the case. There's an entire spectrum. We have men on one end of the spectrum, women on the other, and then everything else in between. There's an entire umbrella called non-binary, which contains a bunch of different genders underneath it.
Okay, so what like what's the definition of non-binary though?
That would be it. A gender identity that isn't man or woman. A gender identity that does not fall on the binary.
Okay, so you're saying that there's things between men and women. What are these things specifically?
There's agender, there's non-binary, there's gender fluid, there's gender flux. There's a ton of them.
Gender flux. What is that? I never heard of that one.
I don't actually know what that is. I know it's an identity, but I don't know what it is.
Like because when I look at some of these definitions for these words, like I feel like most of them are just circular and they all just like mean the same and like different definitions. I'm sorry.
Guys, the trans medicalist is falling asleep. I feel so bad. 1 second. That wasn't in reference to you. That was in reference to someone in chat. Okay. Gender flux. What is gender flux? Term used to describe someone who experiences a range of intensities with their gender identity. For example, someone who identifies as boy flux may identify as fully masculine, partially masculine, slightly masculine, or fully agender.
See, yeah, the definition makes sense, but like the whole idea of it, like, doesn't seem to like mean anything. Like, how can you identify?
With it.
You said what?
It means something to the people who identify with it.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything like virtually. Basically, I'm saying like the definition, like it doesn't like make any sense because you're saying that you're like fully masculine, half masculine, less masculine, fully agender.
Like that would be boy flux.
Yeah, like what, like at what level are you like not fully masked, but you're then masked? Like, are they like?
You'd have to ask someone who's boy flux or girl flux for that. I can give you the general idea of what it is, but they can give you the lived experience. I can't.
All right, thank you. That's all the questions.
Right. All right. Thank you for coming up. Appreciate you. All right. Not a bad conversation, I would say. 1 second. Let me turn on the fan. Okay. Dora, you look so pretty. Thank you so much. Dora, your hair looks nice and vibrant. Thank you. I just had it done. You look gorgeous. Thank you. I feel absolutely beautiful today. I normally feel beautiful, but today I feel particularly beautiful. So we just had a long conversation, so I'm going to take a break from bringing guests up. I will bring guests up in a moment. But right now I'm going to take some chat questions again. We made our goal of 30,000 taps, guys. Let's set a big goal. Big goal of 50,000. Let's get it up to 50,000 taps, guys. 50,000. Am I going to be a grandma someday? Possibly. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not likely. I love your features so much. Thank you. Do I want kids? I'm neither here nor there on kids. I do not seek them. I'm not opposed to them. Hello, unapologetically, Amy. Dora. Now, once I get old, I'm just going to change my name from Adora to Madame Raz. I'll just be Madame Raz. Do I like dogs at all? I'm not a dog person. I don't not like dogs, but I'm not a dog person. My mom tells me that I had some trauma with a dog when I was really, really young, but I don't remember it. Would I be open to being a stepmom? Sure. Madame Raz is fabulous. Fucking right she is. I love Madame Raz. Am I doing debates tonight? That's a big maybe. Love the new hair color. Thank you. Rex, you have a question for me. Are you in requests, Rex? See, I don't know who's next in your requests, but yeah. My advice to everyone is always to not tell me that you have a question and to just ask it. Can I imagine being called Mom? Auntie Adora has a nice ring. It's just something that I just never think about. So your hair is looking gorgeous. Thank you so much, Soul. Well, I do more talent shows every Friday at 7 p.m. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Best talent show on TikTok is right here. Is it necessary to have gender dysphoria in order to be transgender? It is not. It is not necessary to have gender dysphoria to be transgender. Did I experience gender dysphoria? Yes, I had significant gender dysphoria related to my chest, related to my voice, related to my genitalia, related to my emotions, related to so many things. I had significant gender dysphoria. I've taken care of most of it. And did you feel like your gender dysphoria improved post-op? Yes, significantly. To put it in perspective, by the time I had my bottom surgery, I was already in a really good place. My self-image had significantly improved. HRT and coming out publicly did wonders for me. I didn't think it was possible for me to ever feel better. Like I was on top of the world. Couldn't feel better. Like I was, was filled with positivity, extreme confidence, extremely positive self-image. I don't know how else to put it. So I didn't think that things could get better. So I thought I was doing the bottom surgery just to make sure that dysphoria could never affect me, that my bottom dysphoria could never have a significant impact on that there was no risk to my happiness as a result of my bottom dysphoria. I did not anticipate how much better I would feel post-op. It was a night and day difference. Considering how happy I was before surgery, I was this much more happy after surgery, and that blindsided me. I was not expecting that. Thanks. That's amazing. Thanks for answering. That's all I have. Oh, thank you for asking. Question, Adora, why are you so beautiful? Because I worked my fucking ass off for it. Thank you. I appreciate that. But what you're seeing is someone who is living authentically. Someone who has learned how to love themselves and to give a giant middle finger to anyone who says, no, you can't do that. Or you should be ashamed of how you look. Or you can't be proud of your body, or you'll never be pretty. I learned how to genuinely give them the middle fucking finger and do shit my way. So what you see is someone who is being fully true to herself and does not give a fuck genuinely what anybody else thinks about how I look or present myself. And that is hot. I respect that a lot. I wish I had that confidence. Thanks. I appreciate you. I'm sure you can get there. Did I date any females? Did I date any women before transitioning? The answer is yes. The furthest I ever made it in was 3 dates, because dating was never something of importance to me. Did I get cold feet? Yeah, absolutely. I was terrified. I mean, I was so excited. I want to be clear. The excitement always overwhelmed the fear, but I was scared. This is a major surgery, and there ain't no going back. No going back at all. So I was fucking scared. But not enough to ever give me genuine cold feet. Eyeliner looks awesome. Thank you. Keep tapping away, guys. We're 15,000 away from our goal. We're trying to hit 50,000 likes. We're at 35. We need 15,000 more. You're so strong. Thank you. Am I keeping my voice masculine? My voice does cause me dysphoria. I would like to feminize it. I may do that through training. I might do that through surgery. I don't know. Did I get my money back? A percentage from the government. Because I paid out of pocket, I got some money back for my surgeries. I like your voice is calming. Thank you. Welcome back to the Discord, Soul. Don't forget, guys, if you are a subscriber to my channel, if you subscribe to the $5.99 tier, you do get access to the Best Friend Squad Discord. So if you're a subscriber to the $5.99 tier and you haven't already gone over to the Discord, make sure to do so. Click this button right down here, click the Benefits tab, and click on Discord Role. How does voice feminization work? There's 2 ways that I'm aware of. One would be surgery, and the other would be training. And I have not done either, so I can really not speak on them very much. Hair's looking good, Adora. Thank you. Guys, I can't do debates 24/7. I can't, for a variety of reasons. The least of which is that it's not good for my own mental health. Another part of it is that I love Q&As. I love doing these Q&As. I'm a little bit sad that my Q&As don't get the views that they used to. My Q&As used to bring in about 1,000 people. At their peak, I would bring in 3,000 people. So yeah, I'm sad that the Q&As don't do well anymore. I wish we could get this out to new people, because there are still people out there with questions about these surgeries, about top surgery, about bottom surgery, about HRT, and I have answers because I've lived through the experience. Am I attracted to men or women? I'm a lesbian. Apparently Rex is asking a question. Let me scroll back, see if I can find Rex. Should you tell your partner or anyone that you're dating that you're transgender? That's up to the individual. Disclosure's not owed. It's up to the individual if or when we disclose. How is dilation now for me? It's a cakewalk. There's a mild amount of pain when I use the largest one. I have 4 different size dilators. I don't use the second largest anymore. The 2 most important dilators to use are the smallest one and the biggest one. The smallest one is really, really good for getting all the way back to really helping with depth. And the biggest one obviously helps with width. And the one in the middle kind of just helps you jump from the smallest to the biggest without tearing yourself. So yeah. Fuck, what was the question? I forgot. Would I detransition for partner? Fuck no. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if I was deeply in love with someone, and we were having a fantastic relationship, and they asked me to detransition for them, I would give them the middle finger, and that would be the last I ever saw them. Do you think gender dysphoria can not be about one's body? Yes, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Gender dysphoria can be emotional, it can be social. Gender dysphoria can show up in so many different ways. How does my family feel? Mostly positive, some negative. Asking someone to detransition would be so wrong. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that would be the end of the relationship. It wouldn't matter if our relationship was absolutely perfect up until that point. That'd be the end. Would I get facial feminization surgery? Why would I? Look at me. I have no facial dysphoria. I did before I started feminizing hormones, before I got my surgeries. Yeah, I had facial dysphoria. It was largely related to my beard. Once I got the beard gone and I was on HRT and my skin cleared up, took care of all dysphoria that I had related to my face. I think I'm absolutely gorgeous just the way I am. Facial feminization surgery is absolutely a valid thing. If you're trans and you need it, get it if you can. But yeah. Have I had any bad experiences disclosing you're trans to with a partner? I've never had a partner. I'm still learning about myself, but I get confused when I'm okay with my body, but I still feel wrong sometimes, so thank you. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Fairy. And I want to be absolutely clear here, Fairy King. You do not have to have dysphoria at all to be trans. I have fucking Karma stuck in my head. Like, could I have a worse song stuck in my head? And, okay, I don't have the real version of Karma stuck in my head. I have the fucking JoJo Siwa version stuck in my head. How do you know if you're trans without dysphoria? Same way as anyone else. If you are questioning your gender, that's a pretty solid sign that you're probably a different gender other than the one everyone's telling you. That's not a guarantee. If you feel better identifying with another gender other than the one you were assigned, it's a pretty good sign that you're transgender. But the reality is the only person who's ever going to know if you're trans is you. Nobody else. No doctor, no psychologist, not your best friend, not your parents. Nobody can tell you if you're transgender or not. Just you. Great, now my fucking Discord is all JoJo Siwa. Did I tell my parents young that I knew? No, I didn't tell my parents till my mid to late 20s. Who did my hair? It was done locally. I'm not going to say who. Did I grow up with 10 times more interest in feminine things? No, I have a pretty even mix of masculine, stereotypically masculine and stereotypically feminine interests. So no, I like when I got action figures for my birthday, I loved them. I absolutely loved them. Did I want Barbies? Yes, I wanted Barbies. I wanted girls' toys, but I was too afraid to ask for them. But I genuinely loved the action figures and other boys' toys that I was getting, so I didn't have any real reason to complain. I've ever been to Warped Tour? I have not. Hair 360. I'll give you a 180. Need to show your hairdresser? Badass. Why do I keep lying? What am I lying about now, liberal? Do I want to be an aunt? I'm a cat aunt. Tell me I didn't just start a JoJo Siwa cult. Tell me I didn't. We've had enough cults in my Discord. Guys, we are at 41,000 taps. Let's get that up to 50,000. 50,000 taps, guys. That's the goal. 50,000 taps. Do I have siblings? Yes, I have a brother. You know, I used to like JoJo, but JoJo's just lying about having ridden karma. Not cool. Not cool at all. Defending Colleen, I mean, I'm not an expert on trauma by any stretch of the imagination, but is that not the result of trauma? I'm not an expert on trauma, so I don't know. Lying about karma is bad karma? Yes, it is. Oh, that's ukulele Colleen. I did not know that. I don't know these all these people's names. I get them mixed up. Yeah, there is no defending ukulele Colleen. Yeah, so me too. I am forced to see JoJo Siwa videos on TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok. Guys, it came together today. Like, I'm really happy with my makeup. I love the lighting I got going on, and the hair came out fantastic. And look at these earrings. Look at these earrings. Thank you for the ice cream. Appreciate you. Adora, you're such a slay. Thank you. Looking gorgeous. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Aunt Becky. Would I ever get a nose piercing? It would look good. That was my first ever piercing, right? You can kind of see it. See, see that? It was like a little dot, kind of. I had a nose piercing briefly. I got sick. It got infected, and I took it out. And by the time it was healed, by the time I was healthy again, it was already shut. Was I ever religious? I was born to atheist parents. So no. Would I look badass with a septum piercing? I appreciate that, but I don't know if anything in my nostrils or inside my mouth is for me. I don't know. Second piercing was my ears. Yep, I got my ears done second. I swear to God, I am going to rip this earring. This earring, not this one. This earring gets caught on everything. Everything. Hair is slaying. Oh my God, thank you, Abigail. I think it came out real nice. What about a belly button piercing? I have no connection to my belly button at all. You look cute today, thank you. I should get gauges? Not a chance. No gauges. Why have I never had a partner? I've never had significant interest in being with anyone in that way. Love you, Adora. Thank you. You're amazing as always. Thank you. Oh my God, I need to get karma out of my head. Am I arrow ace? I'm more ace than arrow. I do have I don't know exactly what the right label for me would be. I have no significant interest in romance. Have I fallen for people? Yes, I've absolutely been romantically interested in people, 100%. But I don't have significant interest in being in a relationship, and I definitely don't have interest in being intimate with people. What is arrow ace? Arrow ace means that you are both aromantic and asexual. Holy shit, the yawns are coming now. All right, I'll tell you what, guys. We've been doing this Q&A for over an hour now. So I'm going to take a break for a few minutes, and I want to come back with a new topic. How about that? How was sleeping post-op? Very intermittent, very intermittent. I would say I would sleep for about 4 hours, wake up for about 4 hours, sleep for 4 hours, wake up for 4 hours. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Whoever on Discord did that, fuck you. Fuck you. Who did that? Mama Moon. God damn it. Should I do it to everyone else? Discord, let me know. Should I do what has been done to me to everyone else? Let me know, Discord. This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they're... what's the next word? I don't know the rest of it. What's the rest of it? What's the next part? What's the next part? Discord, help me out. And they'll continue singing it forever just because... And they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that never ends. Oh, good luck getting that out of your head, guys. Good luck getting that out of your head. Good luck. All right, back in a few minutes. I'm going to take a break. Hello, Tommy's Real Mom. Hello, Amnesia. Hello, Jersey Lots. Hello, Sweet Like Candy. Hello, Quinn. Hello, Nova. Hello, Melissa Jane. Hello, Emo White. Thank you for the share. Hey there, Sammy. Hair looks so damn good. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, finally someone got my screen name correct. Badass. What's up? Nothing much, TJC. Love your hair. Thank you, Molly. I have a fucking bad headache. Male? Congratulations. Male is a word. Good job. Love your eyeliner. Thank you. Are you, though, are you? Interesting that you started with R and U spelled correctly. Then you said, though, the letter R, the letter U. Interesting. Am I a lesbian? Yes, I am. You and Mel should do a Christmas live next. Not a bad idea. Did I dye my hair today? Yes, I had it done professionally. How am I a lesbian? I'm a woman attracted to other women. What are my earrings? I think there's a bat, there's some teeth, and there's a dagger. Is it transphobia to not date a post-op woman? It's transphobia to not date a transgender person just because they're transgender. Hello, Oviolet? I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. Hello, Bedrock? Love your hair, looks good, thank you. Yeah, I am a lesbian, guys. I am a woman attracted to women. I'm therefore a lesbian. Your eyeliner's top tier, thank you so much. You have a question? Come on up. In the meantime, if everyone could tap the screen and share the live, that'd be hugely appreciated. We have 5 shares. Let's get it up to 100. Wash your hair with cold water so it doesn't bleed out fast. Yes, exactly. Loving the hair colors. You look you look gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, Romeo. I listened to your morning lives while detailing cars. Badass. That sounds like fun. You look cute today. Thank you. All right, we have a guest request. Or we had a guest request. Oh, we got Amnesia here.
Just me.
Hello, Amnesia. You have a bad connection.
Do I?
No, now you're good. Love your cup. Thank you. It's damn near lesbian colors. Not quite lesbian colors, but damn near. I am a lesbian. Prove me wrong. If I twist it like this, you can barely see the blue. It's all lesbian colors now. Karen, I do not speak on personal matters. Rawr, thank you so much for the tiny diny. I'm not even clever. I'm not trying to be clever. I am a woman. I am a woman. I am a lesbian. What do I think of Lily Tino? I think she's super cool. Jamal for the truth.
Is this Jamal for Jesus?
Probably. Yeah. Jamal, why are you here?
I'm just curious. Do you actually believe this, or is it just like clickbait?
No, I'm a lesbian. I'm a woman attracted to women.
All right. So, what is a woman?
Really, we're going down this path, Jamal?
Well, we have to like define, get the fundamentals out of the way, right?
But Jamal,
like,
there's no point. You've done this like literally 1,000 times.
Yeah, and I keep getting W's on this, so I mean, we could go around this again if you want.
So the problem is that trans identities are valid, and trans women are women. Lesbians are women attracted to women. I'm a lesbian.
But what is a woman? When you say the word woman,
yeah, I don't even know why I brought you up, Jamal. Like, I don't want to have this conversation with you. I don't see a point. I don't see how there would be benefit from having this conversation.
All right,
because you're stuck in your way. You have absolutely no interest in learning.
I just want to know, like, your reasoning, your rationale, because
sure, and I want to know the.
It doesn't seem like very coherent. Your worldview doesn't seem very coherent. I think there's like contradictions. When you like really think deeply about it, it's like, well, wait a minute. If a woman can be this, then what is this? It's like, it doesn't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense.
What is your necessary condition for being a woman?
An adult female human. You have to be an adult, a female, and a human.
What's a female, Jamal?
The female of the sex that produces female gametes and or of the sex that bears the young.
To denote or.
Yeah, and if you're a male, you can never be a female, right?
To denote
even female sex
or.
Yeah, even if you have those characteristics, that still doesn't make you female.
Yeah.
These are traits that are immutable. They cannot be changed, right? If you're a male for life.
Not all sex characteristics are mutable, and some are.
Well, okay, secondary sex characters, sure, but that still doesn't change your sex. Sex is not defined by your secondary sex characteristics.
I don't know about you, Jamal. I haven't been karyotyped. I don't know what my chromosomes are.
But if you produce male gametes at one point, then you're obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, a male.
Probably that's my chromosomes, but I don't know for sure. Again, what I'm really curious about here is not what your stance is. I know what your stance is. I'm curious as to why you're here. What is your goal?
Actually, I'm just bored. But
yeah, this isn't something that I do just because I'm bored. This is for real. This is actual stuff that actually affects people. Thank you for the head mustache. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Jamal. Go learn, Jamal.
It would be one thing if he was just some Philbro coming up here and for a debate. That'd be one thing. But Jamal's been doing this for years, and there's no getting through to Jamal. He just comes into all these spaces and makes all the same shit arguments. Thank you so much for the finger hearts. So there's not really any significant point in talking with him.
I just love playing with him for fun. It's fun. Playing with my food is fun.
Rawr, thank you so much. Thank you for the finger hearts. Thank you for the finger hearts. Hello, Jelaya? Jelaya? I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry.
Hi. I wanted to just clarify something because I love you live. You're killing it.
I appreciate it. I just need to know how old you are.
Oh, I'm 22.
Okay, fantastic. Go for it.
Okay. I just need to know what is a definition of a woman?
There are many definitions of woman.
Could you give me, because I'm biased right now about what I truly want to be, but I need to know what is a good definition for a woman.
Well, let me bring up my definitions real quick. Okay. An adult human person who is committed to the social and cultural norms of the female sex. Someone who wants to be perceived as a woman.
Okay, so basically wanting to be a woman means I'm a woman, correct? Is that
Not a want.
Yeah, no, it means that you have an expectation to be perceived in a specific way. You have an expectation to be perceived by society as a woman. A desire to, so to speak. I mean, desire is not the right word. Do I have a Subaru? AB. Yeah, it's an adult who lives and identifies as a female, though they may have been said to have a different sex at birth.
okay? Okay, that's it. It's clarifying. It's getting there. I'm just having a hard time. I'm having a hard time, kind of the world viewing me as kind of a woman, but I want to be a man. But I'm a woman by heart.
You're a woman. I'm not understanding. You're a woman by heart.
I'm a woman by heart, but I have the desire to be a man.
That seems contradictory to me. Because when we speak from the heart, that's typically a desire that we want. So what you're saying is contradictory. You're saying you desire to be a man and you desire to be a woman.
Well,
okay. I guess that's that. Thank you for the ice cream. Appreciate you. Guest was not able to connect. Thank you for the ice cream. Hello, G. Am I right?
He's fine.
G. Okay, cool. Thank you for the cap. All right. How old are you, please?
I'm 27.
27. Fantastic. All right. What's your take on the topic?
Okay, so I just want to preface this by saying debating and what is it okay if I ask you a question about the topic? Because I've learned the difference between gender and sex.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to understand, because my belief, well, what I've learned up to now about sexuality is that it's to do with sex. So I'll just, sorry, I'm trying to not be rude.
When you go on a date with someone, do you ask them what their chromosomes are?
No.
Right, of course not. That would be silly. I'm sure you probably have a certain expectation for the person, for what genitalia the person has. But I'm also going to have a guess that when you find yourself attracted to someone, you don't ask yourself, or you don't ask that person what their genitalia is. You're just attracted to them.
Yeah.
So there's something else then, because it's those are the sex those are some major sex characteristics right there. So there's something else that you're attracted to if it's not chromosomes and hormone levels and genitalia.
Yeah.
Obviously, genitalia can play a role later on in attraction, but that initial attraction isn't necessarily based on that,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would argue that people have attraction to gender.
Mm-hmm.
So lesbians would be women attracted to women. Gay people would be men attracted to men. Bi people would be attracted to multiple genders.
Yeah.
Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sort of. It's I think it's learning things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know all about having to relearn things.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, that is making sense. Because I suppose, yeah, now come to think of it, when I've been on a date, like I haven't thought about genitalia until sort of later on. But I hadn't thought about that until you just got me to think about it.
Awesome. Thank you for the tiara. I forgot to go to my mailbox today, damn it.
Okay. Well, I'll yeah, thank you for explaining that, that's all.
We can keep coming up.
Thank you.
All right. If everyone can keep tapping that stream, let's get it to 20,000 likes, guys. We got 500 people watching. We should be able to get to 20,000 relatively easily. Tap away.
Yo, what's up?
Nothing much. How old are you, please?
I'm 19.
19. What year were you born?
September 2004.
Okay. And
Yeah, the math checks up. Yeah, so the statement is I'm a lesbian, prove me wrong. It should be an easy mission. You're a dude. Would that not just make you straight? I think it would. Stay safe, y'all. Take
what makes
care.
me a dude? Oh, you ran. Wow. Get those track stars going, guys. Get those track stars going. That was probably a record for fastest runner. That's how you know a guest is really afraid. They come up here, they drop their thing real quick, and then before you get a chance to respond at all, they run. All right, guest was not able to connect. We have nobody in the requests. Call that a dump and dip.
So, what do you identify as?
First, I need to know how old you are.
Huh?
I need to know how old you are.
I'm 19.
19, fantastic. Dead Kisses, I see you. I've been fantastic. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so what was your question again? Sorry?
What do you identify as? Like, what's...
I'm a lesbian.
Okay, so you are?
Yes, I'm a lesbian.
Then you're a lesbian.
Fantastic, awesome. Love to hear it.
Because I don't get people, they're like, well, I can't, you aren't a lesbian. And I'm like, I can be whatever I want to be, thank you.
Yes, exactly.
I just wanted to
thank
say
you so
that.
much. All right, appreciate you, Tay. You have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
W-Tay in chat, guys. W-Tay in chat. Also, yeah, never mind. Hysterectomy, that is a word. I don't know where it came from. Yeah, no, it's you're right. It's not a want. Just I'm not. There was no need to correct in that case. 10,000 likes, guys. Thank you so much. Keep tapping. The goal is 20,000. 20,000 is the goal. Okay. Incorrect password. Hello, incorrect password.
Good morning, how are you?
I am fantastic. How old are you, please?
I'm old enough.
Old enough. I need at least a general answer.
I'm over 50.
Okay. All right. And am I a lesbian?
No,
Why not?
because you're a male that is attracted to females. That doesn't make you a lesbian.
Sure, I have male sex characteristics, and I am attracted to women. I'm definitely not. I would not say that I'm specifically attracted to females, because there are women that are males that I'm attracted to. There are females that are men that I'm not attracted to.
Okay, but what's the definition of a lesbian in your? What's your definition of a lesbian?
I would typically say a non-man who's attracted to non-men. I'm trying to find a better definition that doesn't center men, but I feel that women who are attracted to women is slightly exclusionary.
You see, your definition doesn't quite fit in with the norm. The norm definition of a lesbian is a woman who has attractions towards another woman, and as you said, you was born a male, and you fancy women.
Sure,
that makes you heterosexual.
But sex and gender are different things. My gender is woman. My sex, at least genotypically, is likely male. But even that, I'm not certain of, because I haven't been karyotyped.
Okay, I have noticed over the past couple of lives that you always put up a caption, which is always going to be controversial, and you just don't seem to want to accept the answer that the vast majority of people would be wanting to give.
I don't rely on ad populum fallacies to determine what is or isn't right. I don't need people to agree with me.
Damn it, you got mine.
So what are you hoping? What answer are you looking for when you post "I'm a lesbian, prove me wrong"? What are you trying to impose?
Sure. My intention here is to have conversations with people who either have questions or have problematic ideology, and try to explain to them that transgender women are women and that transgender women can be lesbians.
Okay. Do you have any idea how absurd that sounds?
Maybe to someone who doesn't understand what it means to be trans or a lesbian, it might sound a little wild, but I'm happy to answer questions.
And how long have you been a lesbian then?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
Whole life.
Have you always been trans?
Always been trans. Always been a woman.
Okay. At what age can you remember when you thought, I'm not a man, I'm a woman"? What age was you?
4 years old.
So at 4 years of age, you decided to be known as a girl. Is that right?
No. Around 4 years old is when I recognized myself as a girl. I did not have the language to express this. I had no knowledge of transgender people. I did understand that it was shameful for a boy to act like a girl, so I suppressed that part of myself until I was an adult.
Okay. And how long have you been attracted to females?
My whole life. Earliest I can remember would be kindergarten.
Okay. So let's say, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 years of age. At that age, did you identify as a girl?
No, I didn't even. I still at that point did not know what it meant to be transgender.
Okay. So at what age did you understand what that means to you?
Early 20s.
Okay. And at that age, you were still fancying women.
The whole time, the people that I was attracted to never changed.
Okay. So at that age, you was you was identifying as a woman, and you was attracted to women. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that makes you a lesbian?
Yeah. Typically, when a woman is exclusively attracted to other women, she's a lesbian.
Yes. I agree with you. But unfortunately, I don't agree that you're a lesbian, because a man fancying a woman.
Okay, so what makes
Do you know what the difference between sex and gender is?
Would be heterosexual.
Do you know the difference between sex and gender? Incorrect.
Of course I do.
What's the difference?
So we know we're on the same page?
Of course I do.
Sure, just so that I can make sure we're on the same page. Would you mind explaining?
Well, I'd rather you not insult my intelligence if I have to explain.
Incorrect password. The vast majority of people I speak with disagree that there's a difference between sex and gender. So I do need to know if we're on the same page. I promise I'm not insulting your intelligence. I just want to hear what you have to say so that I know if we're on the same page. That's all.
Well, according to trans people, gender is something which you can identify as.
According to you.
I found this on the web.
That's me.
You don't get any. You won't get many other people other than trans trying to argue that sex and gender are.
And I'm looking for your stance on sex and gender. Can you tell me what they mean to you?
What it means to me?
Yes.
Well, you're not going to like my answer.
I typically don't.
No,
It's like I would just. What I want is for you to answer honestly, with your full chest. That's what I want.
Well, I believe there are only two genders, male and female. That means there is no difference between sex and gender.
So
there's the issue.
Right. There's a couple issues there. I mean, yeah. They're absolutely different things. Biological sex refers to reproductive functions, and gender identity is psychosocial, meaning partially psychological, partially social.
So when a baby is born, the doctor doesn't look at it and say, "Oh, this." The midwife would say that, "Oh, what gender is my child?" They would say, "Oh, it's male or female." They're not going to say, "Well, it's a male. It's a male, but it's not a man or a boy."
What happens at childbirth when they're determining if it's a male or a female or intersex is typically they're just going to look at genitalia. Sex is not as black and white as genitalia. There's a lot more to it. There's hormone levels, there's neurology, there's chromosomes, and they don't look at any of that. They only look at the genitalia. So that is... And so not only is that not going to give a complete picture of that person's sex, but it's going to tell them nothing about the person's gender, because gender is a different thing. When we're talking, when they look at genitalia, that is observing a sex characteristic, because sex is related to reproductive functions. Gender is psychological and social, and we're not going to know anything about this child's psychology or sociology when they're a newborn.
But gender is not going to matter at the end of our existence, is it?
Nothing. Only sex isn't going to matter either.
Only sex will matter.
No, sex won't matter at the end of our existence either.
Yes, it will, because
once we cease to exist, our sex and our gender don't matter.
Because when you die, they're going to say, "Oh, well, this person was a male, but it was also a woman." Do you have any idea how absurd that sounds?
Sure, I'm a male woman.
and that is completely absurd.
Why is that absurd? Why does gender and sex have to align?
Well, for 99% of the amount of time and existence, it's never been an issue until
You're playing
recently.
to popularity fallacy.
Yeah, that's an appeal to tradition.
Sorry?
Just because things were this way, just because we thought that gender and sex were the same, doesn't mean that they are. And additionally, there are so many cultures throughout human history that have recognized 3 or more genders.
Well, for some unbeknown reason, this has only been raised as an issue recently throughout time, hasn't it? Would you agree?
It's
What
been
specifically?
Also, what was that? What was the last?
Are you talking about the recognition that sex and gender are different things?
Yes.
I would say no. I would say, at least as far as Western culture is concerned, sure. Western culture is relatively new, but that's because we erased the indigenous people here in America who did recognize 3 or more genders. There are other cultures in Eastern culture in Eastern regions that recognize 3 or more genders. We have throughout human history recognized 3 or more genders. And not tied those genders to what genitalia we have.
Gender has actually been separate in sex since like the late 1800s in scientific terms.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Yeah, I have papers on it. Do you want to go back to Hirschfeld? That was in the 30s.
Again, I don't think it's relevant when we started to recognize the difference between sex and gender. The point is that they are different. They talk about different aspects of the human experience. One is talking about your reproductive functions. The other part is talking about some social characteristics and some psychological characteristics. Different aspects of the human experience.
Yeah, okay. I accept that it's only because of social media. It's only been really sort of expressed openly recently, and when I say recently, we're talking a matter of a couple of years for most people. Up until then, my parents and grandparents, they would have such an old-fashioned view. Before you say that's a very old-fashioned view, that's if you ask your grandparents about transgenderism, they'd say what?
Nonism playing to popularity and tradition.
Okay, so again, sure, it is true that transgender people are in the spotlight now, but that doesn't mean that we didn't exist before we were in the spotlight. And yes, social media has increased the amount of visibility that we have, and it has increased the amount of education that we have around queer identities. So sure, unfortunately, social media is what's doing the educating right now. That's not how it should be. Schools should be doing the educating, not social media. But currently, yes, social media is resulting in greater awareness and education around trans people.
Okay. If I can ask you a question, can I?
Go for it.
What age do you think children should be taught about transgenderism and challenging their own gender? At what age?
Sure, I believe that we should teach kids about the queer community K through 12, age appropriate K through 12.
What? So from 8 to 12 was that?
Kindergarten.
Oh, kindergarten. So what we're talking? 5, 6 years of age? Or even
Sure.
younger?
Honestly, I would argue for earlier than that. I think that parents should start to teach some age-appropriate things earlier than kindergarten. But as we know that most parents won't do that, as far as schools are concerned, yes, K through 12, age-appropriate.
Okay. Well, the saving grace there is, luckily, it won't, at least not in the UK where I come from, it's not going to be taught in any schools anytime soon.
Sorry?
I'll say over in the UK where I am, it's not going to be taught in schools anytime soon.
I hope that's not true.
Okay, well, in America, you obviously your lawmakers who come when it comes to making the actual curriculum. If they want to start teaching kids of 4 or 5 years of age that they can identify as whatever they want to, then that's up to them, isn't it?
That's not a claim that we're making. We are not claiming that you can just identify as whatever you want to.
No, but you're saying that a child of
Identity is
4
not a want, it's an is.
You're saying that a child of 4 and 5 should be allowed to explore their own genderism.
Yes. Yes.
Non-ism.
Yes.
Non-ism.
Yeah, I don't know how many more times you have to say that. It's not a thing that's offensive. It's just incorrect. Being transgender is non-ism.
But you still think that children should be taught of a very, very young age about challenging their own gender. Then
I think they should be taught that there are people that are different than them. It would be a good idea to say that, hey, sometimes someone that you thought is a boy is actually a girl, etc. That kind of stuff.
But would you agree, please, that they shouldn't be encouraged to
nobody should be encouraged in any way when it comes to sexuality or gender identity. We should be allowed to explore, for sure, at age-appropriate levels, but nobody should be coerced into being straight. Nobody should be coerced into being cisgender or anything like that.
Gender is formed in the brain, in the hypothalamus, in utero. Incorrect. And sexuality is formed in the INAH3 in the brain. That's in the hypothalamus as well.
But surely that doesn't begin to actually develop until later on in life, does it? That's not going to happen in a 4-year-old's brain.
It actually happens in pre-utero before you're born. And then it develops further on. However, it's mostly solidified at utero.
I agree. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to argue with you. If you want to be a tree and call yourself a lesbian tree, that's absolutely fine. Whatever you decide that you want to be. Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. And I hear this every day, and it's exhausting. Can you give me an example of a human being that identifies as a tree?
Well, there are human beings that identify as anything.
Yeah, give me an example of a human being identifying as a tree.
Well, there's a child in the UK that identified as a cat. So give me a source on that. It was in the UK news.
It was in the UK news. Okay, great. Now give me the source.
I have no idea. I'm not
great.
able
so
to.
If you don't know, then don't make the claim.
But if you're asking anyone in the UK was that in the news, I'll say yes. If you Googled it, it'll be in the news.
News is not a reliable scientific source. Try again.
I totally agree.
Okay, so they're really... So first of all, if someone does genuinely believe themselves to be a species other than human, that's not related to being transgender. That's not transgender. And the way that we treat a person who believes that they are a species other than human is different than the way that we treat a person who is transgender, first of all. So let's not make that comparison. They're different things. And the percentage of people who identify as something other than human is way smaller than the already small number of trans people. Rawr, thank you so much.
Okay. So would you agree that if people try and identify as a cat or a tree, then
you're again talking about something other than being transgender. I am not educated on how to deal with people who believe they are a species other than human. I do not know what the treatment process is for that. I'm sure it involves therapy and who knows what else. But again, I cannot talk about that because my knowledge on that matter is limited and it has nothing to do with being transgender.
So would you agree with me that if somebody tries to identify as something else would have a mental issue?
What do you mean by identify as something else?
If a person said to their parent, I want to identify as a cat, would you say that person...
I don't know how many times I have to say this. We're not talking about that. We're talking about transgender people.
Yeah. No, what the point I'm trying to get is would you agree that if someone tries to identify something as they are not, then then there's something wrong?
Okay, make your point as it relates to transgender people.
You're relying that trans people have a mental illness. What mental illness?
No, I'm saying if the point I'm making is if someone tries to identify as something which they cannot be, then that wouldn't be right, would it? Would you agree?
I need a more specific example. Thank you for the ice cream. I'm trying to get you to connect this to being transgender, trying desperately. So make your point in a manner that talks about transgender people.
You can, if you obviously your headline is you're a lesbian and you want people to prove you wrong, which is never going to happen, is it? Nobody's ever going to change your mind. Would you agree?
Let me tell you the path to convincing me that I'm wrong. There's a few things that people can do. One, they can show me that my understanding of what it means to be a lesbian is incorrect. That would be one way. Thank you for the finger hearts. The other thing they could do is they could show me that my understanding of what it means to be a woman is wrong. That is the path to convincing me that I am wrong about this. Do I think that's likely? No, I don't. But that's the path. There is one. You just have to be able to back your claim.
So therefore, my opinion wouldn't count for nothing, would it? Nothing I'm going to say is going to change your mind.
I just gave you the path.
Yeah, and I'm saying that only a man, only a woman, only a female, fancying a female would be a lesbian.
What do you say to the cisgender lesbians that find me attractive?
A cisgender lesbian?
Yes.
Are we talking about a cisgender female?
Cisgender lesbian. Do you know what cisgender means?
Of course.
Can you tell me, just so I can make sure we're on the same page?
Someone who's not trans, apparently.
Pretty much. Well, I'll give that to you. Someone who's not trans. A cisgender lesbian that is attracted to me. What do you say to them?
That would make them straight.
Hear that? Hear that, cisgender lesbians out there? I know you guys are out there. You guys are straight because this man said so.
So if a straight female has attractions towards if a female lesbian has attractions towards a male, then would that make them heterosexual?
A lesbian who's attracted to a male? No, that's because again, attraction is it's at least in part a gender-based thing. I do believe that there is some level of attraction that's based on sex, but there is definitely attraction based on gender as well. And when we talk about lesbians, we're talking about gender.
Mm-hmm. As I said, it's I've never known any of your lives for you to ever say at the end, do you know what? I've been proved wrong. Because my opinion...
Got a lot of W's, guy. I got a lot of W's.
Sorry?
I got a lot of W's, you're right.
What do you mean?
I got some L's. I've got some L's. Tony the Tiger handed me an L out of all people. Fucking Tony the Tiger handed me an L.
I'm lost, sorry. What do you mean?
And Andromeda Kane handed me an L. And me just like, yup.
No comment.
So yeah, incorrect password. Yeah, I have lost debates before. Just not very often at all.
Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I must apologise.
Thank you.
So, in conclusion, will you please agree with me when I say that I am allowed my opinion and you are allowed your
That does not make your opinion less harmful or incorrect.
No, it's my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, you're factually wrong. I'm not even sure it counts as an opinion because you are factually wrong, and that doesn't make it less harmful.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't I don't agree with being called wrong because I have a
You
different
are.
opinion to
Trans
you.
women are women, and I'm a lesbian. You are wrong. And you have not been able to make an argument that invalidates my claim.
Nothing I can say would make you agree with my opinion.
I give you a path. You have not been able to follow that path.
Because my opinion is wrong in your eyes.
No,
Okay,
you haven't proven it. You have to have scientific proof behind it. You have to have studies. You have to have... There's backing behind our claim. What backing do you have? Show me a scientific studies that shows sex and gender are the same.
It doesn't need scientific studies. It just needs someone to have common sense.
So it's trust me, bro.
That's a fallacy. Common sense is a fallacy.
It's common sense fallacy.
Incorrect. I'm going to move on to the next guest. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You have a good day. Okay, guys, keep tapping that screen. We hit our goal of 20,000. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can hit 30,000. Share the live as well. We're going to be sub only for the remainder of the live. If you would like to chat, subscribe. So TikTok has rolled out a tier system. They're doing it so poorly, I might just stop doing it. Thank you for the ice cream. There's supposed to be a $2.99 tier and a $5.99 tier. The $2.99 tier gets you all the TikTok benefits. The $5.99 tier gets you all the TikTok benefits, and it gets you access to the Discord. But so many people, when I tell them that, they don't have the option for the $2.99 tier. I don't know why. So I might just get rid of the tiers. But yeah, in theory, if you want to chat and have access to the emotes, subscribe at the $2.99 tier. And if you want access to the Discord, subscribe at the $5.99 tier. And you can do that right here. It didn't come up. Why didn't it come up?
It came up for me.
No, it didn't come up for me. Did I get my hair done? Yes, I did. Thank you. Love it. Thank you. Oh, there it is. It came up like a minute later for me. Am I going later tonight? That's not likely. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's not likely. Hello,
What's up?
Macy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, how old are you, please?
Sorry, I got to put my phone in my. There we go. So, I'll give you a little bit of background here. Small town.
I need to know your age first.
Oh, old enough, 38.
38, fantastic. And are you in a moving vehicle?
Yeah, I got my headset on.
Sorry, if you're in a moving vehicle, TikTok is likely to ban you, whether you're a passenger or the driver.
Like I got my headphones on.
Sure, but whether you're especially if you're the driver, I mean, honestly, I'm going to drop you either way. But just a heads up, TikTok bans people in moving vehicles.
Let's get on with this then. So, what makes you a lesbian?
Jesus Christ. I don't know how many more ways I can say it. I don't want to debate with people that are in moving vehicles. I want people focusing on the road. Hello, Marielle.
Hi, Adora.
Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fantastic.
I'm
And how old are
35,
you?
by the way.
Oh, fantastic. All right, cool.
So really, I just have questions, if that's okay. So, like, do you believe? Are you female then? If you're a woman, I'm just confused. That's all.
I have female sex characteristics. I have female genitalia, female hormone levels. I don't have male gonads. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you.
Okay, so, but female and woman are not the same thing?
Female, as it relates to biological sex, talks about reproductive functions, and woman is a gendered term, and that is psychosocial, meaning psychological and social.
Okay. I guess I just have a couple of other questions based on some of the other arguments I've heard, I suppose. So one thing I sort of hear is that some trans women say, well, not all female at birth women have uteruses or other, I guess, major organs associated with the female sex. And, you sort of like use that in their corner. But would that be different considering that would be more of like a medical issue and like an anomaly?
It's not an
Any
anomaly.
number of circumstances that can. Sorry, Amnesia. 1 second. Sorry. There are any number of reasons that a person may be infertile, may not have periods, may not be able to give birth, might not have a uterus. It is true that some cisgender women are born without uteruses. Transgender women happen to also be women who are born without uteruses.
I see. I mean, I didn't mean that being trans was a medical issue. I meant, like female at birth women who are born without these things.
Genesis happens from 1 to 5,000 people in infants, 1 to 7,000 people. That's pretty significant percentage.
I mean, I suppose so. I guess I've just never heard about it until I sort of invested myself in this sort of topic. So I'm still like sort of learning along the way. But I just wanted to know like why you don't feel like that being a medical issue for cis women is like the same thing.
So,
if that makes any sense.
Sorry,
There's different circumstances. Like there are different reasons that, like one reason that a woman might not have a vagina is because she was born without it, and another might be that she had it removed for one reason or another. The reason isn't relevant. The reason why a woman doesn't have a uterus or some sex characteristic, I don't think is relevant, because I don't think that having these organs is necessary to be a woman, no matter what the reason is that you don't have them.
So there is intersectionality between
there's
not always though.
There's linking sex in the neurological sex. That's the only characteristic that's
sort of like a quote unquote like requirement for like a woman to like have these certain organs, because like we just discussed, like not every cis woman is born with like a uterus or ovaries or whatever the case may be. There's supposed to be, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they were always.
I would disagree. If you're supposed to have something, you have it.
But I thought all females were meant originally, like by nature, to supposedly have all of these things.
I reject the concept of having been meant to have something. To me, it's taking away from those who don't. A woman who's born without a uterus, she wasn't meant to have it. She just doesn't have it. It doesn't make her less of a woman.
But isn't that the point of males and females on the planet?
To me, saying that someone is meant to have something, it implies some level of intention. I don't believe that there is intention in life. I believe that life is a series of happy accidents.
I see where you're coming from. I'm just trying to like sort through everything.
No problem.
So I guess I was just saying, like, I see what you're saying. Like, I just meant, like, since they're, like, I guess in nature, like, the sexes are different and split up, like, for a reason, and all females on the planet are, quote unquote, like, supposed to, have these things for reproduction purposes, right? So when they are...
Do all females reproduce?
No, that was the other point I was coming to.
Do all fertile females reproduce?
Correct. You are right.
Right.
About that. So I guess that just comes back around to what I was saying though, but since like not all females reproduce, like there would be something like wrong with them, wouldn't there be?
I'm
No.
not going to use the word wrong. They have something that their circumstances are different. It's up to them if there's something wrong with them or not.
I see. So you would say like not even from like a
Why we do or don't have certain features is relevant to whether or not sex and gender are the same thing.
I see. No, like I said, I'm just trying to understand. So, like, I've been hearing so many arguments from like both sides. It's like easy to get confused, you know. And you said like, gender identity is in the brain, right?
Yes. Hypothalamus.
Yep. Thank you for the heart.
And that's like in utero, right?
Yes. Utero, it forms in utero in the second trimester separately from your sex characteristics, which is in trimester 1.
Oh wow, that's early. Okay. So if they are sort of like in the womb created like incongruent, like their sex characteristics and their brain, that wouldn't be considered like any kind of. I know you said you didn't like the word anomaly, but like I don't know how else to explain it. Like to, you know what I mean?
It's a gender variation. It's a genetic variation or variate.
So you see it as more of a variation than like a medical thing that went wrong or whatever. I don't mean it in the like. That sounded really harsh. I didn't mean it that way.
Condition, but it's also a variation. It's a variation, and each variation. Sorry.
What is? Oh, no. You're fine, Amnesia. Sorry. I just. What point are you trying to make here? We seem to be hung up on people who have atypical circumstances.
Yeah, I guess I'm just sort of confused. I don't really have a point. I'm just sort of trying to ask all these questions to sort of like make sense of things, I guess.
Okay. Would you say that trans women are women?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Like, I don't feel one way or the other because I still feel sort of confused. If that makes sense.
So let me ask you a slightly different question. Let's say there's this girl. You've known her as a girl her whole life. You knew her parents, and she's 9 years old. And she tells you that she's a girl. Do you believe her?
Geez, as a 9-year-old kid, well, I suppose I would have to take them to like a therapist, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're understanding my question. You've known her as a girl from the moment that she was born. She was assigned female at birth. And then at 9 years old, she just, for one reason or another, says, "Hey, I'm a girl." Believe her.
Wait, a female at birth says she's a girl? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Oh, then, I guess so. Yeah.
Sure, you'd believe her. Now let's say it's 5 years later, and he tells you that he's actually a boy. Would you believe him?
Gosh, probably not at first. I'd probably want like a professional opinion because I don't.
So why do we believe cisgender people? Like when we perceive someone to be cisgender, we believe them, no questions asked. We don't need doctors or therapists or any deep understanding of what gender is. But the moment someone expresses their gender and it's incongruent to their sex, suddenly we need doctors and professionals involved. Why?
Because don't a lot of people that feel that way like are in a bad way? Like they don't necessarily feel happy about it, right?
No.
I mean, I could be wrong.
Because of the way that we're treated by society.
I see.
Because we're not believed. When we tell people hey, I'm a woman, hey, I'm a man, hey, I'm not binary, we get invalidated. Whereas cisgender kids are believed without hesitation, no questions asked. But trans people, we have to prove ourselves. We have to have a deep understanding of gender philosophy. We have to go to therapy. We have to jump through hoops to be believed. Why?
I see. And I do agree with the fact that it's sort of like not fair that like you have to have this deep understanding in order like for everyone to sort of like see your side of things, right? Like I do agree with that. I suppose it's just that like it's sort of like a minority of people. So if something is sort of not with, I guess, the general population, you sort of get confused and you wonder if something is wrong because it's not sort of the quote unquote like norm, right?
Well, that's a appeal to popularity, I think, fallacy. Correct, Adora?
I'm sorry, I missed the point that was made.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that maybe like parents get nervous if their child says that because
Sure.
the majority of the population, I suppose, isn't that way. So
there are reasons to be concerned when your kid comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm transgender," or "Hey, this is my gender," etc. There are reasons to be concerned because our community is treated so poorly, because it is common for transgender people to have gender dysphoria, which severely impacts our day-to-day life. So there are reasons to be concerned, and I also don't believe that it's that for a parent that it is wrong for them to have a conversation about what it means to be whatever gender their child is identifying as, to understand where their child is coming from. I don't think that's a bad thing. I want to be clear. But when we're talking about teachers, friends, family members who like aren't our parents, etc. Why do we have to prove ourselves to them? Why can't they just believe us the same way they would believe anyone else? Parents, I believe there's a process to go through. By all means, if you're a parent, validate your child, but by all means, have that conversation. But if you're the friend or the parents or just someone who knows this child because you're friends of the parents, why not just believe them right where they are?
I guess it's because maybe like cis people, for one, I feel like don't have a general understanding, maybe. So
yeah, I guess cisgender people will never understand what it's like to be transgender. So I think that's a fair answer. Having some questions, fine. By all means, have some questions. But the unfortunate reality is that we are constantly having to justify our identities, constantly, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, I can totally like see how that would be exhausting. Like I said, I don't understand or anything, but I can see why it would be like really draining to sort of have to explain yourself probably to every single person you talk to, right? You probably have to say the same thing over and over. But yeah, I mean, I suppose that's all I really had to say. I just had a bunch of questions, still trying to like navigate through the whole thing.
I appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
You have a good day.
You too.
Bye. That was a good conversation. That was a very good conversation. Guys, I turned my wig thingamajigger that I was using for my blue wig here into a glove. All right, we got at least 15 minutes left. I don't know if I have the energy to go long. We'll see. But in the meantime, guys, please keep tapping that screen. Let's get it up to 40,000 likes. Share the live as well, please. If you're enjoying this, please consider giving me a follow. And if you missed any of this live and want to watch it on your own time, subscribe to my Twitch. Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch. All subscribers to my Twitch get access to my live replays as soon as they are available, which... I don't know how long the processing time is on Twitch, but it's all automated, so you don't have to wait for me to do it. It's as soon as it's available, it's available. Hello, how you doing?
So I'm not necessarily in disagreement with you. I just more so had questions about it.
Sure. I do need to know your age, though.
Oh, I'm 20.
Fantastic. All right. What are your questions?
So just based on like my personal experience, so I'm pansexual, just for reference. So I've just always been confused about like if somebody, let's say, identified as, we'll say straight or lesbian or bisexual, and so wasn't as flexible about things like that. Okay, so I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I thought I heard something too. I wasn't sure where it came from.
Yeah, I was like, am I hearing things? No, but pretty much how would your attraction to somebody who is, let's say, gender fluid or a trans man, trans woman, et cetera, how would that really affect your sexuality? Because I had an ex of mine who came out to me as gender fluid. And so that was it was just in that relationship trying to navigate that and how to respectfully refer to them and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say that's up to the individual. If you identify as a lesbian, find yourself attracted to a gender fluid person, it's up to you if you still want to call yourself a lesbian. Just whatever's right for you and your partner.
Okay. Yeah, that was really my only question, because that was like, I had never come across someone who identified as gender fluid, so that was just hard for me to navigate. It was like, okay, so, I was just asking them like, okay, so do I refer to you as my partner, my boyfriend, my girlfriend? What are you comfortable with and stuff like that?
Yeah, I can't speak on behalf of gender fluid people, but I think my answer is about the right one. It's gonna come down to the individual relationship and the individual people.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anything else?
Nope, that's everything. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, this guest is not connected. Ooh, there we go. It's Seemta. How you doing? I think that was an accidental request. Okay, we are out of requests. If there is anyone who would like to come up and have a discussion about the conversation, about the topic, thank you so much, Zosk. I appreciate you. Now would be the time to do so. If not, I'm going to end early. 12 minutes early, but yeah. I think we had some good conversations today, guys. It does look like things are winding down, which is totally fine. Gonna turn off sub only. And all right. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you later. Who are we gonna raid? Let's do a raid. Rawr, they give it the tiny tiny. Let's do a Parker raid, guys. Parker needs a job. Parker's on his backup. Go on, head on over to Parker needs a job. Write Adora raid in chat. Parker needs a job. Adora raid in chat. Thank you for the ice cream. Appreciate you.
Trying to get to